What's going on, YouTube? So, I gotta talk about this shit, man, because it just blew my mind this morning when I saw it. But, so, as you probably have guessed, if you know me, I do a lot of research and a lot of study on the tactics and the mentality and the goals and the purpose of Islam. A lot. I do a lot. I study these guys like it's my fucking job, because I see them as a threat. And say whatever you want, I don't give a fuck. But I'm telling you, there's something going on here that's not just social justice and fucking trying to eliminate racism and all this extra stuff. There's a goal here. There's something bigger than that whole little blanket of identity politics. And so, with that being said, I want to tell you about a psychological study that I've been reading on. And I can't remember the name of it, unfortunately. That would be great to have for this video, so you can go look it up. But basically, what it is, I'm going to give an example here that I'm just making up in my head, but it's the same concept. So let's say you have a son or daughter who's young, who's, a little kid, and in their room, you hang up a picture of a golden retriever, okay? Or a bulldog. Let's use a bulldog, because golden retrievers are just automatically gravitated towards. So let's say a bulldog. So you hang up this picture of a bulldog. They grow up with it. They see it. They recognize it. And then later on, you take that picture down, and later on, you take them to a pet store. Now, they got all these dogs to choose from. They got, they got pugs, they got German shepherds, they got golden retrievers, they got whatever. They got a bulldog. They got all of them there. Studies have shown that the kid will subconsciously recognize and associate and relate to and gravitate towards that bulldog, because it's an image that they've had in the back of their mind that's been stored in there that they don't really realize, they don't recognize that this is happening, but it's like, I recognize that, I relate to that, I remember that, so that's my choice. So I gravitate towards something that has already been kind of pre-programmed in the back of my mind. So with that psychological study in mind, and goddamn it, I wish I could remember the fucking name of it. It's like reflective imagery, something, I can't fucking remember. But anyway, so if you think of that and keep that in your mind, I watched a video today from my man Gavin McInnes, and he was doing a bit about a school in Canada. Now, this school apparently, I don't know if you've heard, but it's like a new thing now to hang up all these like rainbow flags and like promote transgenderism and say that, this is all okay, and boys, if you feel like a girl or if you want to be a girl, that's perfectly fine, and girls, if you want to be a boy, that's perfectly fine, and blah blah blah, right? Which, to me, in my opinion, that's way too fucking early to start talking about sexual orientation. And not only that, but it just no, I don't agree with it. And it's not because I'm transphobic or I'm homophobic or whatever. I don't give a fuck. I'm just saying, at that point, there becomes a certain point where people can do their own research and understand certain things about themselves versus this being put into their head and them growing up with it. Those are two completely different things. But anyway, that aside, so they're doing this, right? And the main person that put all this together and that's doing this is, I believe, Pakistani. Her name is like this long. It's in Arabic. I can't pronounce it. And I believe she's from the Middle East somewhere. She's an immigrant from the Middle East somewhere. So, she's putting all this stuff on. And again, like I said, you know, that's its own topic. But then she breaks out a book of sketches. Drawings. Very vivid, very good drawings of people. And you look at this book. Now, there's no names associated with them or nothing like that. But when you look at it, and you look at the people that are drawn, it's very obvious that you'll recognize who they are. They are famous serial killers. All of them. Famous fucking serial killers. Richard Ramirez is in there. Fucking, what's his nuts? Dylan, whatever. The kid with the chili bowl that shot up the black church. Dylan Roof. Jeffrey Dahmer. All these people. They're all drawn. They're sketched. They're drawn perfectly. You can recognize them plain as day. She pulls out this book, and she goes to the kids and says, see, she points to Richard Ramirez. She says, see his long hair? He kind of looks like a girl. That's okay. You see this guy right here? He's homosexual. Points to Jeffrey Dahmer. That's okay. Blah, blah, blah. She goes through this book with these kids and points them out and shows it to them, right? Now, first of all, what the fuck? Why the fuck would you do that? What would possess you to think that that's a fucking good idea? First of all, that's completely inappropriate. Totally inappropriate. Now, why would they do that? Think about the psychological study that I just told you about, and tell me that that is not a fucking tactic. That's not social justice. That's not fucking acceptance of whatever. That is a tactic towards our youth. That is a tactic. You go in and you tell these kids that it's perfectly okay to be something different than the social norm. Which, that's fine, I understand. Yeah, sure, whatever, okay, I'm down, cool. Some of our best people on the planet were not socially normal. Not at all. That's fine. But then in the same sentence, you relate social abnormality with fucking famous serial killers. What the fuck? What are you doing? You could have gone a whole different route with this. You could have done fucking all kinds of different people. You pick serial killers? So, what are they doing? Well, here's my opinion as to what they're doing. You can call me full of shit if you want to, but I think they're trying to brainwash our children into becoming little fucking sociopaths. I really do. I that's... Call me crazy, but Islam cannot take these European nations head on. They can't do it. They won't do it. They will not try to invade us. They don't have the firepower. They don't have the ability to do it. They've been trying to get a nuke forever. They've been trying to get chemical warheads with fucking Assad and everybody else. And that's why we blow up all their shit, is because we know that Assad's going to try to sell them fucking chemical weapons. And as soon as they get it, they're going to use it. So if they can't do that, what are they going to do? Well, what I would do is I would infiltrate these societies through these immigration programs that are set up for us. I'd infiltrate them. I'd become the highest pillars that I possibly could of society through the political spectrum. I would create social justice warrior fucking groups who go in and change and mold the psychological makeup of our civil structure. That's what they're doing. This is an invasion. We are at war right now. These people are doing this shit on purpose. This is a tactic. This is not social justice. This is a tactic. I don't know what else to tell you. These guys, you know, just because you don't take them seriously doesn't mean that they're not serious and they're not really trying to do some shit here. They have a goal, and they're trying to achieve that goal. And it's fucking working. You know, I try to have this conversation with so many different people, and I get the same shit all the time. I get, oh, you're just a homophobic, transphobic, racist, bigot, blah, 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 whatever, Islamophobic, blah, whatever. You're missing the point. You're missing the whole fucking point. The whole point. You're only looking at what you see. You're not, I've said this from the beginning. I've said this and said this and said it over and over and over again. If you look at something and it doesn't fucking make sense to you, it's because you don't know the whole goddamn story. You don't know what's actually going on. You don't. So, you look at something and you say, what the fuck? Why would they do that? You got to look 2-3 steps ahead and say, first of all, why would they do that? If you can't come to an answer there, you say, who are they? Who's doing this? And then you associate that with, what do you think their goal might be? What outcome could benefit them, and what way? You're not looking at this the right way. You're not seeing the goal and the tactics being used. You're just seeing the outcome and what's going on. It's surface dwellers, man. You got to stop looking at the surface of stuff and look deeper than that and say why and how and what. This is not social justice. It's not. It's a tactic, man. It's a military tactic. It is. And if it's happening in Canada, it's happening in the UK, it's happening in Germany, it's happening in Italy, happening in France, happening in Greece. If it's happening in all these places, it's gonna fucking happen here. And it's already trying to happen here. You can see it. It's happening. Trump was a blessing. I don't care what anybody says about Trump. I know. But I'm telling you right now, the motherfucker is locking our borders down. And that's good, because these people are coming in and they're changing our structure and they're infiltrating us as a tactic. They're not doing this because it's like, oh well, blah blah blah, whatever. No, they're doing this on purpose. This is a purpose-driven goal. I don't know what else to say. I mean, shit. If you look at all this stuff, man, you look at all these different weird things that are happening and all this crazy shit and all this whatever, it's not what you think it is. There's a reason for it. There's a goal here. This shit is done on purpose. So anyway, I had to fucking share that shit and I'll put the link to the video in the description, but it's just another example. There's plenty of examples out there. Plenty. A lot. I mean, every day there's a new one. So, if you look at all of these social justice groups, and you look at who they are, first of all, a lot of this stuff comes from women's studies groups and universities. And if you look at the women's studies groups and universities and you see what the populace is, most of them are not white women. A lot of them are black women, but a lot more of them are Arab women. Hello? Am I connecting any dots in your head here? They're immigrants. They came here from the Middle East, from countries that we were at war with. They came here through the immigration system. They got grants and everything to go to school. They got grants to set up all this shit. They go through all these women's studies groups. They use the university's money to start all these social justice programs. And they're doing this stuff on purpose. And unfortunately, the people who are with them are too fucking dumb to see what they're doing and to see that they're being manipulated and see that this is not what it seems. I bet you a lot of them know it. They just don't want to admit it. I bet you they've gotten, a lot of these women in these women's studies groups, they can't be that fucking stupid. I'm telling you, that they've probably had conversations with some of these Arab women and some of these people who are doing this stuff and thought, whoa, that's kind of That's not really right, but I guess I'll go with it. Whatever. I bet you that's happening quite often. But again, you can't fucking say anything because it's like, you know, if you say something, homophobic, transphobic, whatever, blah, 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 whatever. So, they got us by the balls, man. They really do, with all this social shit. They got us by the balls. People can't speak up. They can't say much. Fucking freedom of speech is going out the window because people get offended, which really all that means is, shut the fuck up, you're ruining our plan. That's what that means. It doesn't mean, oh, I'm really offended and I go home and cry myself to sleep every night. Yeah, people are weak, but they're not that fucking weak. They're doing that shit because you're ruining our plan. Shut the fuck up. That's the whole point. So, this stuff is not just, you know, people are stupid, but they're not that fucking stupid. Okay? And these people who are doing this stuff, they're not stupid either. They're pretty fucking smart. They're sharp. They've grown up in countries where if you didn't know how to manipulate and you didn't know how to, you know, I've said this too. Here's a good comparison. Who do you think's more dangerous? And I'm using black and white here just as an American example. Who do you think is more dangerous? Well, that's not... Yeah, I guess you could say dangerous, but who do you think is better at criminal psychology? A black kid who grew up on the streets, who's hungry, who has no money, whose mom has no money, and has to work his way and manipulate his way around life in order to, you know, get his... Or some white kid who grew up in a wealthy family who's never really had to ask or want for anything. Hello? Now fucking take that same example and say a Middle Eastern kid or a Middle Eastern woman who's been oppressed like fucking crazy. They ain't right. I'm telling you, they can't be right. They cannot be right in the head. They can't be. From what they've gone through and what they've seen and what they've been through, they cannot be psychologically stable. They can't be. Some of them probably are, but a lot of them aren't. And not only are they not, but they have a goal. They believe in their goal, and they're trying to achieve it. And they're doing a damn good job at it. So you got to look deeper than what... This shit is not just... social justice. It's not. It's a tactic. It's just what it is.